that's it, then show it to me. And I got up and I excused myself and left. Well, I thought about her that day, and the next morning, on the way to breakfast, she was there at the same place with a pad, and her hands were on it, and the pages were all wrinkled. And Darlene discerns all these things, of course, as my wife of many years, and she smiled and headed out for breakfast again without her husband, and I sat down next to this woman who was crying. And she said, I had no idea. And then she turned the page, and the whole second side was filled, and the third side was filled. And she said, there's a lot of wounds in my heart, isn't there? I said, yes. What does this have to do with anything, though? I said, well, you need to forgive those wounds so your heart can heal. Well, it took a while, and I led her through the miracle of forgiveness. Because when forgiveness occurs, a massive miracle happens in a person's life, as I wrote about in the Forgiveness Key chapter. Well, a couple days went by and I didn't talk to her again. And about 9 o'clock one night, Darlene said, I would love to have a little ice cream cone from the upstairs in the dining room. There's a little soft serve ice cream machine that you're allowed to go to at night. And she said, do you think you could get me one? And I thought, that'd be great. So I head upstairs, and when I walked across the room, there, lo and behold, was the doctor. And I looked at her, and she looked at me, and as she walked over, and I said, you've changed. You have peace all over your face. She beamed, and I said, you're able to believe now, aren't you? She says, oh my, I'm not only able to believe, but I was actually praying you would come up because I want to believe. About that moment, that old couple that sat across from them had the same idea at the same moment. They were up to get 2 ice cream cones too. And as they walked in, they saw the doctor and myself gabbing for a minute, and I turned to them and I said, come on over here for a second. And I said to the doctor, I said, you know, this couple has a lot of affection for you, and I think of all the people on the ship, they're the ones who would like to introduce you to Jesus Christ the most. And I walked away knowing that by tomorrow morning, that person would have entered into the kingdom of God as a born-again true believer with eternal salvation given as a gift. Whether or not you've ever understood this, when there's wounds in the heart that aren't cleansed with us forgiving the person from our heart, the Bible teaches that it will affect every area of our life in one way or another. People who can't seem to find direction in their life, people who keep on sabotaging themselves, people who keep going back on drugs, people who keep on divorcing and remarrying and remarrying and remarrying, whether or not you know it, the vast majority of those people can all be traced back to the same vast need. They need the miracle of forgiveness. Therefore, of all the keys in You Were Born for This, the forgiveness key will result in the most dramatic miracle right in front of your face of any of the miracles in the book. Maybe you'll find it answers many questions about your life. So no matter what you do, learn the forgiveness key.